Hello everyone, I've made a video. This video is going to be about how to answer the last question on reference questions number five question. And the question, we didn't really have time to go over it, and I did it in a very weird way, very quickly. And so somebody asked if I would go over it again, and we can go over it if you have any questions. Um, at the beginning of the next class period, but I thought I'd make a quick video. I do apologize because I think I actually answered the question in a very strange way, and I'm just going to show you the easy way right now. I tried to recreate what I did, and I couldn't get there without just doing some weird stuff, and so I realized I don't need to do it the hard way. So I'm going to share my screen. And we are going to go into the reference questions to show you what it is. I'm trying to find the text of section 4.03 of the Texas Controlled Substances Act that was in effect in November of 1988. This can be done. You can do this using the legislative history system, so you could do it for free. I'm not going to show you how to do that until we get to the legislative history, the more detailed component that we do sort of the last day before we do presentations. But then we can revisit this and I can show you how to do it. And I'll make another video about that. But it's a little bit more involved. So I'm going to share a different screen. Just a second, let me actually get to Westlaw. And then I can do a new share. Okay. Just signing in. Okay. So the easiest way to do any historical statute research, state or federal, actually, I don't know about federal. Yeah, federal's the same way. Is to go through the browse feature to get into it. So with federal, you can go into federal. We know this is a state statute. It says Texas and Act. So we're always going to start with what we think it is. And then if it turns out it isn't, we'll do something else. But this says Texas, blah, 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 Act. We're going to go into state, go into our state, Texas. And then we're actually going to go into statutes and court rules. And I'm going to click right into Texas statutes and court rules, because if I click this box, it's going to pull up the federal ones as well. If you forget and you get in there, there's a way you can deselect. You go up here and deselect it. I believe you can do that. Yeah, I don't know. I'll go back and check that, but we may not be able to. So I'm in Texas statutes and court rules. If I knew exactly where I was going, like if I knew where it was codified, I would go here. Because I know it's historical, I am not going to try to go through the current statutes. That's because it's a lot harder to do that way, and I don't know that it always works. So both Westlaw and Lexis have historical statutes available on this side. They also have historical enacted legislation, so the session law version as well. I don't think you will see this until you get into your Texas statutes and court rules. So you have to drill down the way we drill down to see these. I don't know of another way to get to them. You may be able just to pull them up by running a search, not sure. So I didn't even click on it, and it took me there. So you want to know what the statute looked like in November 1988. So that's all I'm going to select, right? Sometimes you need multiple years. It's your choice whether you're going to do multiple years all at once or one by one. This this is a sort of a different kind of box you see. I'm not sure why it works this way, but I just am going to put in controlled substances. I am going to put it in quotes. And I'm going to go ahead and add my section that I want. And then there's no box to click on. You have to just remember to click up here, or you can hit return. So realize that this is searching for the words or the phrase Controlled Substances Act and the term, numeric term 4.03. So it could return a lot of things that are not what we are looking for. Just know that most of the time what you're looking for will be the first returned selection. It does happen to be in this case. It says Controlled Substances Act, so that helps us a lot. You can click into it. You don't really have any other context clues with the question, but at this point you could send this to them and ask them if this is the right answer. If this is what you're looking for. You do have the options over here. One of the problems with these old historic acts that were not codified yet is that they're all by one article. All the one article comes in one package. You can't browse or skip section by section. It's very long, as you can see, very long. You have to pull all of it. One way to just get to your numeric terms, so you just want to get to that section, you can search just for your terms this way. And what I'm really looking for is 4.03. So I'm going to tab ahead until I find it. And here I get to it. So you really only want this section. That's what they're asking about. This is the answer to their question. What did it look like in November 1988? Now, to figure out when the date on this or when this was passed, you could keep doing the original terms until you get to this legislative history section, which is at the bottom of all of the text of the law, the bottom of the act. That's the easiest way to do it. Otherwise, you have to scroll until you get down to this material. And you can see that this was amended in 1981 and 1983, but basically it was like this from 1983 until 1988. One way of helping the attorney or whoever asked for this is to only deliver pages with terms. That way they'll only get those highlighted areas, and you can also highlight the terms. You may still get some extraneous pages. You may have to pull those out. That's the way to do that. So that's the easiest way to answer the question. So I'm gonna stop here. I'm not gonna go into the weeds. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email or bring them up in class. Thanks. I'm going to stop recording.